Good morning. Well, today's the day I have been set the 1 hour challenge by Mags from my garden and the dinosaurs who live there. The aim of the game is to see how much I can get done in 1 hour. My hopes aren't high, I have to say, but I'm going to get started straight away. It's 11:15. Certain things I've got to do, so however long that takes. So I'm going to plant some seeds. First things first, I've got these sweet peas. I soaked the seed. I started soaking the seed the day before yesterday. Rather too long to soak them, I think. But it's been raining and everything and I just couldn't get out to do it. So first thing I'm going to do is plant those sweet peas. I saved them from sweet peas I grew last year. So I'm just going to fill a few of these with compost and crack on and see how we get on. That's the rain starting. Could you believe it? I'm just going to do this as quick as I can. I've had to come in already. I haven't even managed to get them filled up. It's pouring down again. I think I picked a bad day to do this. Anyway, hopefully that's just a quick shower. Otherwise I'll have to abort. And I'm going to put this little thing up. I bought this to go in the greenhouse. It's like a little shoe rack. I got it from Home Bargains, and I think it was either $2.99 or $3.99. It's just a little bit of extra shelving for the greenhouse because I'm short of space, as we all get short of space in my greenhouses at this time of year. I just thought it might help me to stack a few more seed trees up. So I'll quickly put this together. It'll just take a couple of minutes and hopefully the rain will be off by then. Right, there we go, that's that done. Took literally minutes. Well, I'm only 15 minutes in, surprisingly. So I'm going to get these sweet peas in. I'm going to put 4 in each little cell. And hopefully I'll be able to fit them all in one tree. Actually, I don't think I am by the look of things. I've got rather more than I thought. But you can never have too many sweet peas. I think they've got to be certainly in the top 5 of my favourite flowers. Okay, that ended up being 2 trees of sweet peas, surprisingly to me, and I've put an awful lot more than 4 in each little cell. Okay, my next tree, I'm going to put some organic Morton's secret mix very mixed lettuces. I grew this last year. It was really nice, and I have already planted some of this, but it hasn't come up very well. It hasn't germinated very well, so I'm going to put some more in. This is last year's seeds, so maybe it's got something to do with that. If this batch doesn't do very well, I will open. I've got another packet that I bought this year, so the back end of last year. Perfect. And then I've got some Mizuna Oriental Greens. I did grow these last year. I didn't grow them until the very end of the year, and they all got, actually I'm not going to grow that because that packet is empty. So that's that plant's cupboard. Never mind. I was going to say they got all covered in flea beetle, and I think it was because it was the end of the year. Right. Okay, well I've got some Musselburgh leeks here. As I say, I've already got some of these in already. But I want more, I've realised. so I'm going to do some leeks. I'll multi-sow in here. But I've got my little lid on there, and I'm going to put that on top of those sweet peas. There. Right, I'm half an hour in. I'll do a quick pit stop now, and I'll show you what I've already got grown in the greenhouse, because quite a few little things have started coming up. So these two rather messy looking trays here, I've got some beetroot, I've got some broccoli, I've got some different types of lettuces, I've got rocket, I think that's about it. Mixed rate of germination. I made a bit of a blunder with the compost, and I tried to use compost straight out of the hen run, and it hasn't been the best, to be honest. Across here I've got, this is all the tomatoes. I've got 3 different varieties. I've got red cherry, Roma and moneymaker. The moneymaker are a bit slow to germinate, but I've probably got enough. And then this tree isn't doing so well. I've got a few little weedy looking leeks, but I sowed aubergines and cucumbers. None of them have come up. I did have them in the house for the warmth, but it hasn't worked at all. So I'll have to re-sow those and see what happens. This is my tree with the Kent blue peas that I sowed last week. And can you see? Starting to sprout, and there's a little one there. So I'm excited about that. And this one is a tree spinach, and that has also started to sprout. So yeah, things are growing. It's a blinking miracle. That's the rain on again. What I'm doing here is I want to plant some spring onions in a bucket and just leave them outside. So I've got this old bucket here. I had something or other grown in it last year. I don't know what, but it's still full of compost. All I'm going to do is put a little inch or so of fresh compost on the top, and then sprinkle the seeds really quite thickly, and I can, you know, pull out the spring onions as I go and thin them out. This is my spring onion seed. I saved this myself last year. I had spring onions in, they were red or purple ones, and I let them go to seed, and they were beautiful. I'm going to try and do it again this year. I've left some in from last year. They get the huge allium flower head on, and I've saved all the seed from that, so I've got masses of it. I've just actually realised, though I haven't sorted this, that's alright there. Some of the flower heads are still on, the little seed husks. I'm just going to sow that thickly. Yeah, I think I'll let these germinate in the greenhouse, because it's still only March, and then, but they'll go out quite sharpish, I think. Very hardy things these. I've had little spring onions just sitting at the allotment all winter, through the snow and everything. So yeah, they're hardy. I'm running out of time now. I've got one little bucket here that again had something or other in it. I'm going to weed it out. I'm going to put some compost on the top again, and we'll see what we can plant in here. Right. So I'm going to grow some carrot seed. Last year I grew my carrots up on the roof. I don't know whether I'll do that this year. I can't really be bothered with going up and down. The reason I did it like that was to protect it from carrot fly, which it worked fantastically. I might just see if I can cover the buckets. We'll see. Anyway, this is the last thing. Oh, that's too many, isn't it? That I'm planting here. I am going to sow these quite thickly. And then I can just weed them out. But there we go. I think that probably takes me certainly up until an hour now. So I've done me 1 hour challenge. It was a bit limiting with the weather, to say the least, but I had a spare hour before lunch, so I thought I might as well pop out and see what I can do. I was going to do weeding and all sorts. Anyway, no, I've been stuck in the greenhouse, but got lots of seeds sowed. I'm going to pop up to the allotment in this video, not now for me. So that's the second half of this video. I've got potatoes to put in, and well, we'll just have a little look and see what's going on up there, shall we? See you up there. Well, it's like night and day, isn't it? From horrible rain to beautiful sunshine, although extremely cold this morning, and we have had a frost, which is a bit worrying. This is where I planted all the peas last week, but I'm noticing that for some reason the peas seem to be pushing their way, some of the peas seem to be pushing their way to the surface, and they definitely were buried. I just wonder whether it's the roots going down and forcing the peas upwards. I think that's the only thing it could be, because if it was a rodent or a bird, they would have plucked it out and taken it away. So I think I'll just cover those over a little bit more with some soil, just to protect them until they quickly come. However, they are germinating. In fact, I'm just seeing a nice long line there of little shoots coming up, so that's great news. It's only been maybe, what day are we now? It's been maybe 9 days since I put them in, so that's pretty good going. So what I've come up here today for is to get my potatoes in. It's been really wet, so not the best, but it's cold today, so I'm hoping that'll have firmed up the soil a bit and it isn't going to be too mushy, and I'm going to get these in. This year I've decided, oh, that's sun, I'm just going to get my cap. That's better. This year I've decided not to buy any seed potatoes. I've got a mixture of just potatoes from the shop and also ones that I saved from last year. So I've already put in some jazzy potatoes, which are second earlies, with the help of some lovely chaps. I just want to say hello if any of them are watching, from a local school of ours. They came up and I showed them around the allotment and we had a lovely time together. And they helped me plant these jazzy potatoes, and what a lovely bunch you were. I had such a good time, enjoyed myself. You are funny, well behaved and clever, so I hope I can see you here again at some point. So this is potatoes that I grew last year, the Maris Pipers. These are ones I've saved, so they are just chitting nicely there. And I've got all these King Edwards here, which are the Maris Pipers are main crop. These are main crop as well. So I've just cut those in half. I bought these from the shop, and they'll be fine. They were big potatoes, so I've cut them in half to get more for my money. Got 2 trays of them, and I've also got 3 of these, and these came out of the garden somewhere this last year, and I don't know what variety they are. I'm just going to put them in as a potluck. This is the King Edwards. In they go. I'm putting them about 6 inches deep, about 9 inches apart, foot apart, something like that. that's it. I've got them all in. I actually wasn't expecting to be able to fit all the potatoes into this bed, so I'm pleased. You know, I don't think I squashed them together, and I've got a little gap there to put something in. It's actually really lovely. I can hear the skylarks singing and the sun's out, but apparently it's going to be back to rain, and I was going to say cold, but it is cold today anyway. It's going to be back to rain again tomorrow, so I'm just soaking it up while I can. We've got frog spawn in the big pond at home, but we made a pond here a couple of years ago, and for the reason being is we want frogs in the allotment to try and combat the slug damage, to eat the slugs. However, I have to say, after 2 years, I've never ever seen a frog in the allotment. And we did have frog spawn, and we did have tadpoles last year, so I don't know where the frogs go. And we've got no frog spawn at all in this pond this year, so Kelly took a bunch of frog spawn out the big pond and brought it up here yesterday, and hopefully one day we might get some frogs up here to eat the frogs, to eat the slugs. I brought these parsnip seeds up today just on the off chance. I had thought about planting them in between my onion rows, but I don't know how much that'll affect the onion growth. Anyway, now I've found I've got a little bit of space left in the potato bed, which I wasn't expecting to have. I think I'll pop them in there. I did grow parsnips last year. We're not massive fans of them, but I don't mind having a few. So I think I'll put a couple of little rows in and see how they do. Well, that's a good productive day at the allotment today. I almost forgot. I was supposed to nominate somebody else for the 1 hour challenge. Mine was a bit of a duff really, wasn't it? All I did was plant seeds. I couldn't do anything else with all that rain. Anyway, I nominate Nigel and Susan from Good Grow Garden. If you want to do it, you can. Thanks for joining me on this video. Catch you next time. Bye.